Good afternoon, my people. Or rather, good evening, but the sun is still shining. I have the reading today is about the members of the scientific community. I don't own the rights to this music. I just wanted to tell you that right now. But I am enjoying it. It's called Neo Soul Mix. So this is, again, Color and the Afro-Asian Intellectual. So I'm going to turn this down a little bit. So I left off right here where Shils starts to talk about the members of the scientific community are, of course, members of other communities as well. Many of them authoritatively elaborated with specific and specifiable obligations. Citizens of states and municipalities, administrators of laboratories and university departments. They are also members of political parties, churches, clubs, and civic and professional associations. They have different nationalities and religious beliefs. None of these properties or characteristics is, however, allowed in principle to contaminate the obligations scientists acknowledge themselves to have as scientists or to impair the affinity they sense among all scientists. In assessing the results of another scientist's research, a scientist permits none of these other obligations to stand in the way of his overwhelmingly preponderant obligation to observe, to think, and to judge as a scientist. In activities that are more secondary within the scientific community, these other obligations and loyal ties sometimes play a greater part, although there, too, it would ordinarily be denied that this is so in particular cases, and it would be emphatically denied in principle. In the social sciences, with the exception of economics, there is much less common culture among the practitioners, whereas economic theorists and economists speak to one another out of a knowledge of a common set of problems and a common body of literature. Sociologists and political scientists diverge markedly after sharing but a few common elements in their disciplines. They have relatively fewer common symbols and notations. The data of the various social sciences, being largely descriptive of particular situations, are more intimately related to the various territories in which they were gathered and from which the social scientists come. The problems many social scientists study are, moreover, more intimately involved in their own particularistic attachments. Even though they seek and often attain a high degree of detachment, insofar as this detachment becomes more or less articulated in a general theory or in specific techniques, it gives them a common universe of discourse and thereby confers membership in an international community. Nevertheless, the international communities of social scientists are not as unified nor as integrated as those of the natural scientist. The social scientist's self-identification is more affected by his particularistic attachments than is that of the natural scientist. In our next reading, he gets into the humanistic disciplines. And so the next time, I'll be reading about that with you. I'm enjoying you listening because I'm getting through this book. I can't wait to get to the next chapter, which will be about race and color in international relations. That's a different author. And I want to let you know that I don't add anything to the book or take anything from. I'm reading it just exactly how he wrote it. So in the meantime, until the next time, I want you to have a blacktastic day. Black power.